Hello everyone, this is Charlie and I'm back with another video. Um, so this is gonna be a really short one. Um, I actually had planned on talking about three books, Superman, Green Arrow, and Paper Girls, but my shop actually sold out of Green Arrow, so that really came as a surprise and expected. I didn't expect that book to sell out. I usually think Batman's the big seller, you know, with the with two covers, that book sold out I think the first day. So I went to shop on Thursday morning. The books went on sale on Wednesday afternoon and sold out like it could sold out in a few hours, so that is amazing. Um, I'm hoping since as most of you know, I go to two shops or used to go to two shops, a large chain one and a smaller one. I haven't gone to the smaller one since I've come back. Starting since I started back buying comics. So I might actually go next week or early next week to see if they have it and well really to restart my pull lists because I didn't do it before. As I explained last video, situations kind of changed for me, and I wasn't really sure if I would even be buying the new books. Fortunately, the situation changed again, and now I have a much clearer picture of where I'm at. So it's safe to say that I could finally restart my pull lists and get the DC books I want. Some other books that I've been sort of getting um, from the tables, from the racks in the shop. Um, so I will only be talking about two books, Superman and Paper Girls. But despite my bad luck with Green Arrow, I actually found a copy of issue 5 of Paper Girls, which was like the only issue I had missing because the last book I actually bought before going to my hiatus, my first hiatus, was issue 4. I hadn't seen issue 5, a couple of weeks back. I rechecked, on Thursday and I found that issue, so I'm up to date, on that series. Also, today is Saturday. Tomorrow, Sunday, we have elections here in Mexico, and in various parts here in Mexico City specifically, there we're going to elect part of the representatives for the Constitutional Congress. Now, what's this all about? This year, I think, yeah, this year I believe Mexico City stopped being a federal district, which was completely separate. Uh, Basically, as a in the part of the political division of Mexico, you had like the 31 states and a federal district. Well, this year it became a state, which is weird because uh, Mexico City is like this size compared to the rest of the states. If you go and look at a map and of Mexico and you see like a little dot that looks like a hand, that's Mexico City. It's really small, and they decided to make it a state because back in 1929 it kind of lost some of those rights that states had, and since then there was a movement that asked for Mexico to be a state, and for the past 80 years it's been going on like that, 70 plus years it's been going on like that. Finally, the movement won, for political reasons. The mayor wants to run for president, so he thinks this is gonna give him some leverage on that, and other people are angry. It's quite certain that nobody's going to vote, or it's gonna be a small turnout for it, because political manipulations of the president of the country and his party, who's gained a majority in it's a really complex process. So we as citizens have like the chance to elect about 60 of the total of the representatives that are going to make up the Mexico City Constitution, um, which I wish people would vote, because even though whatever people might think, uh, there's a big chance that a lot of the progress, because Mexico City has been a very progressive city, a lot of that might go away. I mean, on gay rights, we don't discriminate people. We are trying to be or we're very environmentally aware, very clean. Recently, with this mayor, it's been a mess. The environment, it had so many contingencies. Just this year, we've had about a dozen or more days where we had this sort of system where certain cars wouldn't go out on certain days, so they to their pollution. While this governor our mayor just made some huge mistakes, put out more allowed more cars to go out because they sort of seem to fit the parameters for pollution. Now we have more cars in the city. In 20 years, really, since since 1994, since we had yes, since 1994, you know 20 plus years now, 22 years, 23 years, 93. We never had, I don't remember, I never recall having so many contingencies for pollution, where now it even have double days where certain cars won't go out. We had this system, we have this system where have in your license plate you have like a color, and the color and the ending of the plate, the number, the last number of the license plate, there would be assigned certain days where they can't actually go out to maintain the pollution levels down. Now it's going double for 3 or 4 times. I mean, just this year, it's. I mean, we're in June now. I think we had like a half a dozen days where we had this double thing going on, where now cars can go out 2 days. So you know, this government has been a huge mess. But as I was saying, well, I wish people would go out and vote, and preserve what we've gained. So yeah, I mean, I even had like little training for, because I will be participating as a functionary in the polling stations where people are going to vote. So I got my little training manual here, uh, and here's like my official paper that actually names me as working in the polling station as secretary, which means I have to do a lot of stuff, which is just filling a lot of forms. So that's what I'll be doing now. So tomorrow, so now let's go on to the books. So like I said, I actually didn't get the Green Hour number one, Green Hour Rebirth number one, but I did find this issue, Paper Girls issue 5. So I'm caught up with how the first arc ended, and of course issue 6, which I'm liking this series, and I'm glad I'm sticking with it. This issue starts a new arc, a new adventure, where in this issue the girls ended up going to the future, which is now. Uh, so we still have the mystery of that was started in the first arc, and now a new twist has been added in at the middle of this issue. A new twist was added. Um, I'm really enjoying this series. I'm glad I'm picking it up, and I'll be sticking with it for as long as it lasts. And I was actually amazed though that I saw tons of copies of this in the shop, whereas there was a lot of copies of Green Arrow. I guess I didn't expect it to sell out, but I think the shop might have under ordered the book, because I mean it has 2 covers. All of them were sold in like a few hours. I probably imagine they sold out on Wednesday, because I didn't go into the shop too late. So yeah, but I was amazed to actually see stacks of this book. Uh, and though you go and look for it in the back issues, there's not a single copy of them, or like a 1 or 2 copies of like certain issues. I mean, I was lucky to actually have found issue 5, which was like the only copy of it. Next, Superman Rebirth, which yeah, I'm looking forward to this one because the old Superman is back. The Superman of the New 52, he died in Superman number 52 in the whole Last Days of Superman arc, while the convert the I wanna say the post Infinite Crisis Superman, because that's where Superman left off when before the New 52 reboot. So I'm not exactly sure if they're gonna be playing a little bit with if they're gonna use the post Infinite Crisis continuity, which Infinite Crisis did pretty much what Rebirth did, which was bring back elements from past continuities. Pre-crisis continuity was brought into the post-crisis universe, so you got this mix of old with the new, and this is pretty much what Rebirth is doing. And in fact, Rebirth and the Infinite Crisis had pretty much the same elements of trying to make the DC universe better. Uh, some of the build up to that was really saying, it's gonna be a dark time for the heroes, so they have to rise up from the darkness, and it kind of started that way, but with Final Crisis, followed up on even the Crisis. That was a pretty dark story. Uh, so, anyways, with this issue, because I think I will maybe share a video, but with this issue, we it's a sort of passing of the torch, sort of, you know, you know, our the post-credit Superman, or the post-infinite credit Superman, you know, hopes he could bring back the New 52 Superman back. That because it happened to him, he died at the hands of Doomsday, and he came back through certain circumstances. The Eradicator, Kryptonian technology, the birthing matrix that had brought him to Earth, uh, allowed for Superman to come back from death. There's no such technology here, so what we're seeing here is, the New 52 Superman, he's gone. He's not coming back. It's gone, so he might actually come back. So, in a sense, it's also sort of a rebirth for the post-Infinite Crisis Superman from the old Superman, who now has to once again become the public Superman, because since Convergence he had arrived at the new 52 universe, or the post Flashpoint universe, for 9 years, and had been in that Earth for 9 years working in secret. So once again, the old, the new Superman, the new 52, the post Flashpoint Superman died. So the old Superman has to come back into the public eye as Superman. So it's a sort of rebirth for the character. Uh, Lana Lang is in this issue, who wants to take Clark's Superman's body back to Smallville and bring him with his parents. We get to see sort of what differentiates the post Flashpoint Superman to all, the main DC Superman, with the older, pre-Flashpoint Superman. It's a great issue. It's a requiem for the young Superman. It's the rebirth of the old Superman as Superman, taking again that role publicly. So I cannot wait to see where this goes. It's gonna be different. Uh, it's gonna be different. It's the familiar Superman, I guess, for a lot of people, uh, because the post Flashpoint Superman was very different, uh, than the guy that came before him. In the earlier version, there was never a really good grasp of the character. So bringing back the old Superman brings us to a much more, I guess, familiar place, but at the same time it's new because we got, Superman's son now. We got John White, or John Kent. So it's the old with the new, and I'm excited to see where Superman will be going. I mean, we got uh, two great writers working on it, or three great writers, Tomasi and Gleason, Tomasi and Gleason, and in Superman, and with Gleason on art and Mankey, who did the art on this book. He's sort of going back to drawing uh, the Superman he started working with, which was, Mankey actually worked in Superman Man of Steel back in the late 90s, around 99, late 90s, early 2000s, until that series was cancelled. So he's drawn the new Superman. Now he's going back to drawing the old Superman as well. And in action we have Dan Jorgens, so who will be continuing to tell the stories of the Superman he has been writing in the Lewis and Clark, the new Superman Lewis and Clark book, which I need to catch up on as well. So again, I thought it was gonna be a short video, so it's 19 minutes gone by. So I guess I will end this. And it's sort of, it's getting kind of dark, but it's kind of cloudy. And it's getting a lot of rain this week. Anyways, I'll sign up as I've always done, saying to you, my dear friends in the YouTube community, until next time, keep smiling.